It cuts off the left side of the frame.
We're gonna have to do you one more time to the position.
Oh my God.
Tyler, you're killing it, dog.
Tyler, you're the best. This is not my oh my gods are really about how I can spend 15 grand and still need to spend 5 more grand. How is it possible?
All right.
So I don't know which one is X.
The x-axis, I believe, is width.
It's not width. That x-axis is going to be left to right, and the y is going to be up and down.
Oh, so you mean vertical and horizontal?
Yeah. I said it the way Tyler understands. You can go ahead and hit record. Okay.
All right, Tyler. So first,
He's bringing us back to E-Bomb's world.
Yeah, dude.
I can't even get it back on E-Bomb's world. My girlfriend put a parental control on it. I wish I could.
Now, does the name E-Bomb, is E like email? Is it like that?
Yeah, and
It
bomb is Winkelbaum.
Baum means tree in German.
Okay, I didn't know that. Very interesting. An international show.
Tannenbaum, oh, Tannenbaum.
Blowing my fucking mind, dude. I never heard. Well, I knew O Tannenbaum, of course, but I obviously have spent a lot of my life trying to avoid Christmas in every single way, shape, or form.
I'm sure that's been fairly easy for you.
It's actually, it's really difficult around November and December.
Is it?
It's incredibly difficult.
In the places you live?
Well, I mean,
you go home, it's not like there's tinsel on the walls.
yeah, but when I drive from here to home, guess what? It's all Christmas all day long around here.
Would your father, is he upset that they don't play like
Ramadan music?
Yeah, I was going to say Ramadan
Well,
music,
Ramadan,
but
yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say.
Ramadan stanzas?
Yeah, Quran.
No.
Would he love to walk into a Target and just hear like Muzak version of the Quran?
I'll tell you what, that's going to become a completely different target if they're playing the Quran. Hit it, folks.
It's the worst hour of the week with Bryan Vokey and Ramsey Badawi.
I refuse to learn how any of these buttons work. I don't want to learn how they work. Sure, if I hit them the right way, I could get the right desired effects, but who wants that?
All right, Tyler. So you wanted to play us a Mexican kid on a log?
Yeah, Tyler all day has been, since he got here, has been talking about this video.
Well, first of all, Tyler just found out about E-Bomb's World, so...
Yeah, it's a great website.
No, I'm just kidding. Tyler, go ahead and press play on that big guy.
So the video, by the way, is titled Fat Kid Falls in Water.
No way.
He's trying to convince a fat kid to walk across a log.
Yeah, it's a pretty...
¡Ya, güey! ¡Qué pendejo, güey! ¡Ya! ¡Pinche vato, güey! ¡Ya, güey! ¡Pinche vato! ¡Ya, güey! ¡Ya, güey! ¡Por favor, idiota! ¡Pinche pendejo, idiota!
Okay, so...
This is every day in my driveway.
For the listeners at home...
I mean, I don't have a river in my driveway, but everything else, so...
For those of you too foolish to subscribe to our YouTube, or to not subscribe to our YouTube channel, I mean.
YouTube.com/worsthourpod.
And those of you who can't see the video, what we just saw was a young Latin American boy.
Latin American.
Helping
an Afro-Caribbean
young man. Actually, we saw 2 young men, one skinny, one fat.
I'll take a guess on who was bullying who.
Skinny kid got across the river.
Yeah, they put 2 sticks across the creek.
I think the state of Mexico put those 2 sticks across the creek. I think that was an official country bridge.
Yeah, and so you can hear from him going like, "No way!" This is every day in my neighborhood. So, in my driveway, literally, my neighbors, they play baseball. The older brother and the younger brother. And you just hear the older brother being like, "You're such a stupid bitch," and he'd be like, "Stop it! No, fuck you! You're a bitch!" And it's just like all hours of the day.
Don't even remind me of your neighbors, whom I have a severe beef with.
Why?
Remember, I was going into your. First
I
of
don't
all,
hold on to things like you do. I meditate twice a day.
What? Ow! And how far does that get you? You host a podcast with me still.
I don't remember these grudges though.
I was going to your house back in the dark era of this podcast, and and I refer to dark era, by the way, I mean COVID. You know, that was the dark era of this podcast.
Yeah. No vid.
You know, nobody
COVID, no vid.
COVID, no vid. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was around Christmas, actually. And actually, if you recall, they said Happy Hanukkah to me because they didn't think I would celebrate Christmas with them, and they didn't say it in a friendly way. I could tell they didn't actually wish me a Happy Hanukkah.
No, they were calling you a Jew.
They were being anti-Semitic towards me.
Yeah, and you said, guys, that's my job.
I said, no, I don't mind that you're being anti-Semitic, boys.
You think you know about them? Let me tell you what I know about them.
They were, you know, I think like one guy was getting his hair cut in the garage, and the other guys were like dancing around. It was fun.
No dancing.
No, that night there was. I swear to God, there was dancing. I swear to God.
I've told Tyler this, and I wonder, how many of the listeners do you think, Tyler? This is a question for you. How many listeners do you think know who Vicente Fernandez? Wait, is it Vicente Fernandez?
Yeah, Vicente Fernandez.
Yeah. How many do you think of our listeners know who he is?
At least like 20%.
I'm sure plenty of people know who he or she is.
So what happens is there's a barber shop once a week in my neighbor's garage, which is attached to my garage because it's a duplex.
Yeah.
They'll cut each other's hair. It starts out Misfits, Dead Kennedys, punk stuff, and by the end of the night, it's a Mexican balladeer named Vicente Fernandez, and it always ends with like a very like kind of ballad.
Brian, that was beautiful, man. That was not bad. I got it. You got to give this. Tyler, does Brian have a career possibly as a
mariachi group, dude?
Was that just from hearing it so much?
Yeah,
and you think you've mastered it?
I think it just is in me now. It's like how people like tried to learn Spanish to CDs while they're asleep.
I'm going to try to teach you some Arabic stuff too. We can maybe take you international. Maybe Worst Hour Pod can finally do that cruise that we've been trying to do to Tijuana.
Yeah, dude, we could do a live show in Cozumel.
Honestly, probably would have been just as wild as our live show in Pasadena. In terms of the technical difficulties, we would have run it into the way. It would have been a wild time. I would love to do a cruise. I hope that we do a cruise someday. I've never been on one before.
I would like to do like a cruise that's centered around Worst Hour. Like it's like the Worst Hour fans come.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, because I know some comedians who did a 311 cruise.
Yeah. So it's like if they can get one, why not us?
Yeah, 311 could get a cruise in 2018 or whenever this was.
We might be just as big as 311 is right now. In terms of like...
I would feel comfortable saying that.
I feel very comfortable saying we are equally as famous as 311 right now. Right now. Not in the 90s, not at their peak. Mm-mm. At their peak, they were superstars. But right now...
They're that amber is the color of her energy. Whoa.
Do young kids even know about 311? I'll ask the friends I hang out with.
Wait. I'll ask my fellow young friends, my peers.
Let me ask Peter and Eleanor.
Now, people used
the
to say...
two oldest names.
Let me ask Don Juan. I was told that 311... what rumors did you hear were the meaning of the name?
311 was like the code for public nudity.
I heard that one, that they were skinny dipping in an apartment complex pool, and the code for public nudity was 311. I also heard that K is the 11th letter of the alphabet.
Oh, I've heard that one before.
KKK.
I've heard that one before, too.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H,
and if you
I, J, K, dog.
If you listen to 311, you could totally see how they could be Nazis.
They're from Nebraska.
Oh, yeah, dude. Down.
No offense to Nebraska. I'm just saying... You know, you're probably not exposed to a lot of different cultures. You could probably begin to think that yours is the best.
I like that we apologized to Nebraska before 311. We just called them a Nazi KKK, or actually, I guess a KKK band. Yeah, absolutely. And you apologized to Nebraska. Like, sorry, Nebraska.
Well, yeah, I didn't want to imply that I'm not one of those coastal elites who thinks every guy in the middle of the country is a fucking KKK.
Tyler, I'm going to set up the show. While I set the show up, I need you to look up the background of where
311 got his name.
I was going to call them KKK.
Yeah, where did KKK come from?
I want to know that too, to be completely honest with you. Let's start the show, dude. Welcome to the Worst Hour podcast. Before I actually start the show, I was going to ask you, Have you noticed that all the billboards on the California freeways have gone from telling you to wash your hands to telling you about missing children again?
I have seen a bunch of missing children.
Kind of lovely to see.
Well, something that you made me realize, we were talking about this after our live show in Pasadena, that is available in length in its entirety at patreon.com.
Foolish. The Foolish episode. Full-ish.
Well, listen, we didn't capture the whole live show.
It was really fun, by the way.
But we did do it. We recorded an afterthought.
We had a wonderful live show. By the way, Tyler was a huge hit there. I mean, people can't stop talking about Tyler.
I know, he was the biggest.
People have gone nuts about Tyler.
Yeah, they lose. If I get one more message about getting to see if there's any shirtless pics of Tyler on the internet.
People keep going, how small are his hands really? I hear they're so, we're like, well, maybe.
But we're talking after the show, and you mentioned that you went to see John Mayer and Dave Chappelle, and they put your phone in a yonder bag.
They did.
And you were like, that would be a great place to steal a child.
Steal a child.
Because the Amber Alert, everybody's phone is locked up.
Yeah. Shoot up do a shooting of some kind. I mean.
Heroin?
No. I mean, mass murder. Doing a terrorist. You could blow up a bomb. You could steal kids. You could rob people.
Anything that you don't want, anything you need a phone to save your life.
Yeah.
Do it near a Dave Chappelle concert. Everybody's phone's going to be locked up.
Where they put your phones in because he's referring to the yonder bag.
Oh, I said yonder bag with expecting you guys to know what a yonder bag is. Yonder bag is when you go see a pretentious artist who thinks that they are crafting a masterpiece. Yeah. We all know a masterpiece hasn't been made since the 90s.
I should have known that was going to be your point of view.
Yeah, well, Billy Madison. That's your last American masterpiece.
Fair enough. I'm gonna. Okay, keep going. You've challenged me to think of a more recent masterpiece.
Yonder bags are the bags that they lock your phone up, and you have to get some kid to unlock your phone. It's always like some stoned ass kid.
Yeah.
And you can't ever find him when you need your phone unlocked.
Though I will say, when I was at that John Mayer concert and they put my phone away, I never was more productive in my entire life.
You filed your taxes.
I folded my laundry. I was so good, man. Honestly, I'm gonna buy one of those yonder bags and drop my phone off in it when I walk in.
Dude, we should have Tyler. That should be one of Tyler's duties.
Ooh, taking our phones.
Yeah. He takes our phones, holds onto them in a yonder bag.
Tyler,
he has the magnet. We can't unlock it.
I like the idea that he does that at our shows, but only for us. It's just a distraction at this point.
I like the idea of a drug dealer going in to see John Mayer and have to pull out 9 phones out of his pocket.
He keeps going back and forth to the stand where they're at. Yeah.
I don't know which one to unlock. He just throws down 9 yonder bags. Unlock one of these fucking phones.
It just seems like a dangerous thing, ultimately. I mean, risk reward. We live in an era where, and we'll get into this soon, people have guns. They like to use them. Is it really worth it, Dave Chappelle, that you're putting thousands of lives at risk that people
let
don't?
me ask you this. Eagles at Death Metal concert in Paris, France. There was no yonder bags there.
No,
Did that save a life?
I'm certainly not saying that the cell phones are going to deflect the bullets. I'm saying that at the end of it all,
you could get a viral video.
I'll tell you right now, if you guys, that would be a good point. You could do a good fun boomerang.
Yeah.
The guy's shooting at you, the bullet's coming back in,
and back in the barrel, out of the barrel, back in the barrel, out of the barrel.
Somebody, look, if I'm ever in a situation where I'm the victim of a mass shooting, I'm going to try to have some fun with it on the last one. There's nothing I can really do at this point, So do a slow-mo one, do a filter one.
Oh, dude, I would be grabbing everybody else's blood from the dead bodies and rubbing all over my face and playing dead.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good move.
I'd take a Sharpie and color a black circle in my head and then pour somebody else's blood on it.
I know for sure I would just go right after the terrorists. Because I'm just kind of it's just me personally.
Yeah, that's who you are.
It's who I am.
You're a let's roll kind of guy. If you remember let's roll,
yeah.
That was the famous phrase the CIA made up when they tried to say that they didn't shoot the plane down in Pennsylvania during 9/11. In fact, the passengers rallied and took the plane down.
No, yeah, dude, you're being kind of wild right now, dude. Though that was completely the same. I love how bizarre it is that so many things just lit up and exploded that were unrelated.
Yeah.
Like to this day, people don't really talk. I mean, they do talk about it, but the government never addressed. What's the story behind Tower 7? The one that just fell for no reason.
Yeah, I think like a stick fell on it from the tower, and the weight of the stick, because you ever heard of terminal velocity?
Yeah. Oh,
so
of
like
course.
a stick can gather a lot of speed. Now it's coming down. It's like a fucking mother of all bombs.
Yeah, I just saw terminal velocity actually last week.
Yeah?
Here we go, folks. God damn it.
I like how you have no idea what's going to come out when you press one of those buttons.
No.
Hey, Tyler, what would your move be if a terrorist takes over an airplane?
Oh, you got to charge him, dude.
You would charge?
I think.
How
I have to.
much?
It's the worst hour of the week with Bryan Vokey and Ramsey Badawi.
17 dinar.
I'm back, baby. I hit the right button.
Tyler, you really think you would charge?
No, I don't know.
I
I'd
actually
to-
do.
I actually seen a guy pull a gun out before, and I ran away.
I
forgot about that. That
Is
actually
that the last
happened.
time you saw your father?
It's the worst hour of the week with Bryan Vokey and Ramsey Badawi.
I'll say this: I did cry. You guys recall? I told on the show when the person fired the gun in the garage.
Yes.
I basically cried into a sandwich.
I think I would be. Listen, I think I
was
would be
so
really
scared.
level-headed. I don't think I would be panicked. I think that's the great thing about basic training when they make you like crawl under live fire. Did they do that to you, Tyler?
No.
You never had to crawl under live fire?
No, we had this thing. They told us Universal Studios built us a fake ship, and we did a bunch of fire drills on it.
What? The Navy stinks so
It's,
hard.
it's so corny.
I guarantee you, the government paid Universal $25 billion. Like they gave them an unreal amount of money to do something like that.
You think you would charge for real?
For real? For real?
You would start speaking Arabic and start standing with them and try to act like you were there the whole time.
Yalla, come on, guys.
He starts holding us up.
In a heartbeat. If I knew
yeah.
it was going to get me out of there. It's a good point. If it's terrorists, I think I come in and I play the Muslim card hard.
Of course.
I don't take
You
it
start
down.
praying in the aisle?
I go, brother.
Yeah.
This is the least Islamic thing and I try to play that angle.
Yeah. Because, I mean, like, look, if you have the benefit of knowing the language and the culture, you got to roll with that. Like, if I was on, like, Air Japan and, like, a redneck came and took over the plane, I would just kind of try to saddle up next to him and pretend that I was one of them, too.
Yeah, I mean, look, man, you have to do what you got. But I would use my powers to try to, of course, diffuse the situation. And if all else fails, join them.
I would be whispering, are we just trying to get somewhere or are we crashing? We crashing?
Yeah, okay. Well, because, wait, you're talking about the redneck?
Yeah, well, yeah, in the situation where I could communicate with the hijacker.
Yeah, because I'm thinking you couldn't say that to my guys.
No, my throat would be fucking open. But I'm just saying, yeah, I'm talking, the redneck's taking over the plane. I don't know, maybe he wants, like, how is that?
I just took a sip. I'm so sorry. I took a sip of something that has pulp in it. It was not warned.
What kind of pulp? Coconut?
Tyler, what fruit is guanabana?
That is an unrecognizable fruit.
Tropical guanabana?
Is that bat shit?
Dude, this looks like...
Isn't guana bat shit?
Guanabana is how it's spelled. Looks like it's a... it's
Soursop?
Oh, they have the English name right over here, soursop. It's kind of not bad. Kind of...
Where did you get that?
I got this at the dollar store. This was actually purchased for...
Why are you buying drinks at the dollar store?
This was actually purchased for the live show that we did last week, and it didn't make it into the cooler. So, of course, because one of the perks that comes with seeing us live is you get a sugar-free dollar store energy drink of your choice.
That's sugar-free?
This has a lot of sugar in it. This has 10,000 milligrams of sugar. It's in Spanish. I thought Tyler would love it. So that's why I literally bought it because I was like, well, Tyler's going to fucking love Hugo con Pulpa.
Can I see this?
Yeah.
Hugo con Pulpa.
Honestly, wasn't the worst thing I've ever tasted, but it is real sweet. Real sweet.
Where is this a product from?
Vietnam.
Vietnam. Yeah, okay.
So that's where you want to get most of your Mexican drinks, honestly. Vietnam.
This is a wild ingredient. Natural identical soursop flavor.
You wouldn't tell the
That
difference.
sounds like a really convoluted way to say artificial flavoring.
Yeah.
Naturally, it's identical. It's not, technically, it's not soursop, but naturally, it's identical.
I like this, so they have two translations here. They have the English, and then they have the.
They're trying to hit all the markets.
They're trying to hit all the markets, but they punctuated the English still in Spanish. They gave it the upside down exclamation point where it says "delicious superfruit." What a wacky can this is.
Well, that's what happens when you get, you're not supposed to consume anything from the dollar store.
Is that so? I like
That's a good life lesson, I think, or a life rule.
It looks like, according to one of those pictures, they're making milk out of this stuff. Tyler, what is that? There's a middle right there. Is that a glass of milk somebody's having with it, or is that looks horrendous?
Dude, that's a wild fruit. Like, you really got to be starving to look at that and be like, maybe that's something I could chew on.
I like that America has just been like, all right, we've narrowed it down to 6 fruits.
Yeah.
We like bananas, apples,
blueberries, strawberries. Melons are all one, unless you start getting into weird spiky melons.
I didn't even see a jackfruit until I was 30.
Yeah, I mean, all that Mario World fucking fruits, the ones that look like they should be shot out of a Mario Kart car.
Yeah, exactly. We were like, that's us.
That's disgusting.
And we're not touching anything else.
And we don't fucking eat horses, but we eat cows.
Yeah. I think some places eat horses.
Yeah, I had horse in France.
Was it good?
It was delicious.
It's probably-
But I think it had to do more with the sauce.
And that makes sense to me because you do have to take.
The jus.
I think as a vegetarian, you could comfortably eat horse because those race horses are there, and they, once they get shot, you might as well use the meat.
Oh yeah, if you're eating a broke leg horse,
Yeah, absolutely. It's like it's kind of a waste if you don't eat them.
dude, that'd be a great restaurant to start in Texas. Broke leg horse ranch.
Ooh, I like it. We sell
horse steaks.
Dude, and if you want to make it a hookah bar as well, I'm in. I'm 100% in.
Broke leg horse ranch and hookah bar.
It would be so fucking good.
Just some guy sucking down some shisha and then chewing on a fucking giant horse leg. If the horse leg is so long that all 3 of your buddies can chew on it on the same time.
Our whole thing is like our menu tells you the story of the horse, like its bio,
He's the
its
grandson
resume.
of Man of War, the Triple Crown winner.
He was, he won X amount of trophies in the beginning of his life. Trip killed him 2 years ago because
He was a cop horse. He was discharged for stomping out a black kid.
I gotta believe cop horses are also trained with that bias as well.
I would imagine.
I mean, if you've grown a bond to your,
You know how they say animals can sense your fear?
yeah.
So when the horse cop starts riding through the black neighborhood and tenses up, now the hair is standing on the horse's neck.
I have to believe basically every horse is racist because they are like it's almost built into their DNA. They were used for racism for so long in this country.
Well, not only are they probably racist, but they probably just have a general superiority complex because they are quite possibly the most beautiful animal
Horses?
on earth. Yes.
I don't know if that's true.
Dude, horses are gorgeous.
They're fine.
Dude, a nice Arabian fucking...
Look, got a huge hog. I'm not going to argue with that.
Tyler, a horse is beautiful?
Yeah, they're beautiful.
I don't know.
When you see one, you don't feel like weird, like how are you so big and muscular?
Yeah, but I wouldn't
It's
say.
like I remember my friend made me.
I feel that way when I see a cow.
You really?
Beautiful eyelashes.
but a
Looking
cow
at you,
can't
blinking
move.
at you, big ass titties.
We've bred all the energy out of cows.
I'm probably too straight to find horses beautiful because they're so muscular and masculine.
But I remember, and you know what's strange though is that girls in my life, horse girls.
Mm-hmm.
I've been around so many horse girls that are like, here, just go ahead and feed the horses. This is in Georgia. Go ahead and feed the horses, and they give you a bucket of feed.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing you know, it's like 9 horses around you, just eating out of this thing you're holding, and every now and then, like a fly lands on their ass, and they just go whoosh with their tail, and they go brrr, and they stomp, and you're like, I panic. I almost had a fucking panic attack. That's a majestic beast right there, dude.
You know, just because you fear something doesn't make it beautiful.
That's the only way I process attraction. And I don't even mean that sexually. I mean, I have the real friends of mine.
Yeah.
I'm scared of them.
Yeah.
I've always lived in neighborhoods where I was terrified.
Is
constantly.
that why you tremble sometimes when you're in my presence?
No, that's why I said real friends. Horses scare me.
That's why Brian's girlfriend is a bodybuilder. People don't talk about that on the show.
Yes,
enough.
she does work out every day in the gym.
She's.
I could beat the fuck out of her. Though.
You think so? Elaborate. Because I would like to see this as a radio bit. You fight your girlfriend on the show.
Headgear.
Everything.
Yeah. So it's like safe and consensual.
Ask your girlfriend if she would be willing to fight you on the on the air. I'll ask my girlfriend the same thing. Tyler, ask your wife. Whoever can get their significant other to agree to fight on the air.
Dude, you just picture like with the horse, you picture conquering. You picture Genghis Khan on a
changing
horse.
the subject all
You
of a sudden.
picture conquistadors from Spain taking over fucking Latin America. You picture fucking Geronimo throwing a fucking spear right through some fucking General Custer's throat.
I picture Michelle from Full House falling off. This happened on an episode of Full House. Michelle fell off. She hit her head, and she didn't know who she was. She didn't remember anybody in the family. So that's what I associate with horses. Bad times, dog.
You know, does it make you believe in God when you hear about somebody suffering a head injury and then they come out speaking a language that they never have spoken before?
Yeah, but...
Because you're like, what is that? There's not like there's just all the languages are installed on my brain and it's just whatever's active at the moment.
Does that happen all that much, or has that only happened once, or has that ever actually happened?
I'm not entirely sure it's ever happened. But you've heard it before, right? Where it's like some girl will hit her head and she comes back French.
I've heard that before, possibly on Full House, maybe on that same episode.
I'm telling you, right into the show, worst hour of the week at gmail.com. If you've ever heard of somebody, or if you yourself, maybe you're from Kenya and you listen to this podcast because you hit your head, now you speak English.
It could be very true. I have a good feeling most of the people who listen to this podcast have hit their head before, pretty severely. I never had a moment of beauty that made me believe in God. I have many moments of misery that make me not believe in him, though. Every time I floss my teeth, I think, how could there be a God? Why would he make food so easy to get in between my teeth?
Right. Yeah, we should have one tooth.
You should have.
I've always thought
I've always thought the same thing. You get two giant teeth.
Yeah. Two circular. They look like a mouth guard. I've always thought that.
It doesn't make any sense.
It can have ridges.
Because your teeth can't fix themselves.
Okay, so it says there have been at least 200 cases of foreign accent syndrome.
Okay.
Oh, so it's just an accent. Documented, which occurs when somebody recovers from a brain injury only to find themselves speaking in a foreign accent. This would be a rough era for that injury to happen.
Oh boy, it would be
Dude,
really
could you imagine if you hit your head and you wake up and you're speaking in a Chinese accent?
Oh, you have like a Sengali accent.
They're like, stop Asian hate, and you're like,
Can I direct that short film?
yeah, where you're just like, oh.
That's how you. Okay, Tyler, you have to YouTube this, by the way, foreign accent syndrome, just to see if somebody comes, because we have to see. I'm willing to put my bottom fucking dollar that they only speak British or French or Australian.
Oh. Hello.
I have a big.
My name is Bryan.
They choose very carefully. Here we go. Oh no, there's one where it speaks Jamaican. All right. Oh, there was
Chinese.
Chinese. Okay, we have to pull it up. We have to pull it up. This can't be real. There's no way people hit their heads and wake up improvisers. How is that possible? Okay, the woman who woke up sounding Chinese. Let's fucking listen to this.
So this is, see, how do you not believe in God?
Okay, if this is true, I'm gonna tell you right now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna determine whether or not I believe in God based on this video. This was on the BBC too, so you know it's a reputable news source. Mm-hmm. Hit play.
Sarah has spent most of her life in Plymouth and had
The
the
Woman Who
accent
Woke
to
Up
match
Chinese is the name of the
until
segment.
recently.
That sounds like a short story I had to read when I was a kid.
I said that right? Yeah.
3.5 years ago, she was rushed into hospital with a migraine, which left her
Hannah
with a
Gadsby, her
voice
doctor?
she didn't recognise.
You got this in picture?
I have
Tyler?
not
Nice.
actually heard my voice in the conversation.
Okay, she is legitimately.
Her initial response
can't
when
do
hearing
that!
how she used to sound from a bank telephone recording
Good afternoon, thank you for calling.
was to long for her old accent to return.
Yeah, I'm not actually ringing about my policy though.
She's
That's her
listening
real
to her
voice.
real
Do you want the
voice
policy
right
number?
now.
I know it's me. But I feel like I want to say, oh, she make a good speak.
Ladies
She
and
speak
gentlemen,
a
we
good.
are. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/worsthourpod, to see the video here. We are looking at the
Sarah
most
has been
European
diagnosed
woman
with
I've ever
foreign
seen in my
accent
life.
Syndrome. The condition has only 150 known cases worldwide.
Although it's called foreign accent syndrome, it's literally a speech impediment. There's nothing foreign about it. Obviously I don't have a Chinese accent. I've never been to China. You'd have to spend a considerable amount of time in China to pick up the accent. So it's impossible. Deep
Are we
mud,
sure this woman just
tough
didn't
nut,
wake up with a head
like
injury?
bus.
And everybody's like, she just kind of sounds Chinese. Like,
They're like, yeah, she's just like completely deteriorated mentally.
yeah.
And they're like, oh, well, you sound Chinese, but really she sounds like she might be.
Yeah, by the way, Chinese people, this is a very big insult from the BBC to you. Like,
Yeah.
this woman is
This is
just
what y'all sound like.
this woman is just now handicapped.
Yeah. Wait, okay, Google it or YouTube it again. I want to see if there's another one, Tyler. Jamaican. I want to see that Jamaican one.
People must wake
Dude,
up.
I fall off a horse, I wake up, what a guan child. Bra, bra. What are the things they eat? The patties?
Oh, those are so good,
They're
dude.
so good. I used to get, every time I go to Brooklyn, I get those.
Yeah, I remember I had one. There's a swap meet by my house that I used to go to where they would sell those jerk patties, or what are they called? They're called something
They have
wild.
jerk chicken.
They're so fucking good. All right, this is the last one we have to see. Okay, so hopefully it's good. This is
Well, then you got to make a call on God.
This is the one where I'm gonna base my decision on whether or not God is possibly real.
What a guan child.
All right, there's a silent intro.
Well, imagine going to bed with a Staffordshire accent that you've spoken for the last 47 years.
So this
and then
only
waking
happens to
up with
British
a
people?
strong Italian twang.
Well, that's exactly what
It's that
happened to Mum,
imperialism.
who 8 years ago suffered
Yes!
a brain injury. Which
She looks
left
like
her with
Iggy
medical
Pop, dude.
Whitest woman
foreign
ever.
accent syndrome. Joins us
Swedish,
now, along
without a
with
doubt.
Professor Rosemary Varley, and welcome both. Lovely to
hello.
see you. So it's 2006. You were suffering from bad health for a little while. You'd had headaches, and then you spoke to your sister on the phone.
She should get
and
dreads.
noticed that your voice was changing.
Yeah, I started off with just a lisp, and I was a bit concerned, and with ill health, I tend to get over fatigued, so I thought it was that.
She sounds more
So
deaf
I
to
went
me
bed and
than
still there the
Jamaican.
next morning, slowly this lisp was getting a little bit strange.
Oh,
I
this
ran,
isn't the Jamaican.
Is this Chinese again?
No, this
my
is
knee was up there.
French,
Yeah, at that time.
Italian, and then also Japanese sometimes.
She switches from French,
That's what I said.
Italian, and Japanese.
I'm starting to think foreign accent syndrome is not real.
It should be called crazy bitch syndrome.
I need to. I'm sorry to ask
I'm
this.
sorry to all the ladies who listen to this podcast.
I do need you to now find out, Tyler, if there is a man with foreign accent syndrome, only because Brian brought it up. Now I need to know, because it does seem we are 2 for 2 so far.
Yeah. And they look like cat ladies, both of them.
It's, yeah.
You know,
I have a feeling something's up here, because every single one of these, I'm starting to see the same person. All right. It's
all women.
Oh, no, ladies and gentlemen, this is not good.
Why don't you
ladies.
just Google man with foreign accent syndrome?
Oh, is that a guy right there? Foreign accent syndrome? They all wake up. It all seems to go the same way. I woke up with a headache, and then all of a sudden I started
was
speaking Jamaican. Every time I have a headache, now I'm going to be worried, like, oh,
no.
God.
Oh, no. What happened to me, child?
My head hurts. I don't even know what accent that was. I was trying to do African.
Oh, my head hurts.
That's good.
You got to go low.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good. I can't.
There's a lot of bass in the average African accent.
Let me say this. If I do wake up with an accent, it can only help my career. I will only have a better career.
By the way, that guy I was doing was a white African.
Yes, yeah.
Hello, I am a white African.
It's a good point. If you are white in Africa, you do have that accent.
Yeah.
And not a ton of white people in Africa.
No, but they have that accent.
I imagine it's a couple. couple of children of runaways from America.
Yeah, for sure. Or missionaries.
Missionaries, yeah.
Are you ready to give your life to Jesus Christ?
Clooney's doing YouTube ads now. Sad stuff.
So what's your call on God?
We're about to find out. Last video. Is there a man? Is this a man here, Mr.?
There's George Stephanopoulos, I believe.
Oh, young George, looking great right there.
He's a good-looking dude.
You know what though? I bet you see him in real life. He's even shorter than me, and it would disappoint you a little bit. He would look like a little dull.
Yeah, he looks like a small, like a strawweight boxer.
Yeah, okay.
He's got a punched-in nose.
I do see that. Yeah, he does. He does seem like he would look great with his shirt off.
Yeah,
you know he looks good with his shirt off. Okay, let's find out whether this dude has foreign accents.
U.S. Springs. Navy veteran wakes up one morning speaking only Swedish. No memory of his past. Doctors have been trying to figure out exactly what's behind the transformation, and ABC's Rob Nelson has all the details.
Oh, he woke up speaking their language.
Johan Ek from Sweden, at least he thinks he is. His name is actually Michael Boatwright, an American Navy vet. In February, Boatwright woke up in this California emergency room in a Nordic state of mind, only speaking Swedish.
Why are they roasting him with every sentence? This guy has a serious condition.
Visibly emotional, he spoke to the desert sun through a translator.
The name I knew that I had, Johan Ek.
Police say Boatwright was found unconscious in this Palm Springs Motel 6, along with 4 forms of identification and a cell phone.
The cell phone, it contained several phone numbers, all of which were phone numbers from the country of China.
Records show Boatwright may be a graphic designer who taught English in Asia and apparently lived in Sweden for part of his life. After several weeks of tests, doctors diagnosed Boatwright with the neurological phenomenon.
Yeah, this guy's 1,000% lying.
Not treated
he thinks he's Jason Bourne.
Maybe more
this guy definitely has somebody who's currently going, "Sir, Your Honor, just because he says he's making a mockery of this court, just because he says he's no longer Michael Boatwright doesn't mean he doesn't owe my client $50,000.
Yeah,
this is ridiculous.
Yeah, so women get accents and men are just lying.
Men are just criminals.
Yeah, just criminals.
Men are just on the run from some. I guarantee you, this guy killed somebody.
Yeah, that's like the same move where my friend Brad, he'll play deaf when he doesn't want to get caught. Where his girlfriend was like, "Where were you last night?" And he goes, "Huh?"
I'm gonna try that with my girlfriend tonight.
What? Wait, what?
Unfortunately, I can only turn into an Arab man, so it's not gonna seem like that big of a stretch to her. Yeah, there's definitely somebody. This is because they no God whatsoever. They completely pitched this guy. There's zero chance there's a God. They pitched this guy like they were like, could you imagine suddenly waking up knowing Swedish? Then they tell his story a little bit and they're like, he lived in Sweden for a little while when he was a kid. Like, of course
they just glossed over that. Also, they're like, the story, they really buried the lead. The story of him having 4 forms of identification and 4 Chinese phone numbers is a little more interesting than him lying about not being able to speak English anymore.
They completely glossed over the only important and interesting fact in that story. Like everything in this story, I could go to a Motel 6 right now and wake up and pretending to not know who I am. In fact, I imagine most people in Motel 6 wake up not knowing who they are.
Also, the fact that they highlight Navy vet, that's way down the list of how I would describe him. Yeah. As a guy who wakes up from being unconscious in a hotel with 4 forms of ID, living in China, on the lam from Sweden, I don't think his Navy service really has anything to do with what makes him remarkable.
I got to tell you, patreon.com/WHotW. This week, we are going to do a deep dive on Michael Boatwright. We're going to find out, we're going to get to the goddamn bottom of this guy.
Yeah, he is an interesting character. He looks like that libertarian dude who just died.
John McAfee? Yeah. He does look a little bit like John McAfee, yeah. This guy definitely looks like every man on Thrinder. Just a vaguely Eastern European Does he have ear piercings, or am I imagining them because he said he was Swedish?
Yeah, he looks like the Florida brand of Republican, like a Florida guy who he'll go to an orgy. He doesn't go to church.
Yeah.
But he's really into fireworks and guns.
Like the plaintiff out of every case, or actually I should say the defendant, out of every case where a guy shoots his girlfriend who's like 18.
Right.
It's always this guy.
That's what every Steve Bannon co-defendant looks like.
Exactly. Yeah. This is the donor. This is the high-end Trump donor in Florida.
Yeah, exactly. This is the guy who's running the Make America Great Again, treasury.
Yeah, exactly. Michael Boatwright. We're going to look into into him. God damn it! I want to find out every intricate detail. I guarantee you, Brian, we're gonna find out that he's a fucking criminal. He owes somebody a bunch of money.
Yeah.
Some woman is gonna go up and be like, "My dad is pretending to be Johan Eek."
I bet he's also the guy who claims to have like $10 billion worth of Bitcoin who can't find his password.
Yeah.
It's probably this guy.
This man is a disappointment and a half. There's no question about it. 41 minutes into the show. Shall we start it?
Yeah, we got a whole section on children. Love to get into.
We'll definitely get into that today. We have a wonderful show for you today, ladies and gentlemen. Ramsey Badawi, Thai-Town Shake, Jerusalem Joker. I said it earlier, but we didn't.
East Jerusalem Joker.
East Jerusalem Joker. I like that.
Yeah.
Just for the rhythm of it all. Joined today, of course, in studio, as always, my co-host, Bryan, No Woman, No Cry Vokey.
Yeah, I woke up with the accent. I hit my head. No woman, no cry.
And of course, producing the studio, producing on the ones and twos, as always, Tiny Hands Tyler, the content creator.
Right. He is producing, although we did have a little bit of a setup situation where we were getting, Tyler is, in title, he's the producer of the podcast.
Yeah.
So part of production is all the behind the scenes stuff, setting up the cameras, the mics, the switcher, all that kind of stuff. I know I do this for a living.
It's a lot of work.
And so while we were in the middle of that, Tyler was like, I'm going to go smoke this joint. And walked out, smoked a joint on a balcony, leaving the talent to have to set up. Talent.
I will always defend Tyler. In Tyler's defense, that was part of his pay. He was consuming some of his pay. So,
Yeah, we do pay him in pocket weed.
It's a better store of value, to be completely
My
honest
neighbor
with you.
paid me in pocket hash. I came home on the 4th of July around 9 o'clock, and there was like 6 cars deep in the driveway.
Mhm.
And one of the neighbors came up to me. He's like, "Hey, do you mind parking on the street?" And I was like, "Hey," he goes, "Thanks, dog." And then he opened my hand like a mobster, and then he just threw like a pile of hash in my hand. He goes, "It's all love, baby."
The same. This is the same neighbor we discussed earlier.
Same house.
Yeah, they've got, I imagine, more than 5 living there.
Actually, I think it's 5 on the.
It's
dot.
5 on the dot.
Yeah, I said on the knot.
La-di-da. Great show today, ladies and gentlemen. Awesome week to look back on. 200 fatal shootings over the weekend. The U.S. Army Irish goodbying Afghanistan, just leaving without telling people. A man in Florida selling duct-taped iguanas out of his trunk. And then Brian has just a slew of stories about children.
Yeah, there's a lot of funny stories in the news right now about little child geniuses and shit.
A little bit of business, though. Huge thank you once again to everybody who came out to the live show. We've got clips on our YouTube and Instagram. Please subscribe to the show, Worst Hour Pod. We're actually like every day adding so many more subscribers.
Yes.
I
And
mean,
it better be every one of you who's hearing this right now, subscribe.
Please. I mean, it's so...
That's the best way to consume the show.
It really is. There's clips that are up from that live show. And then, of course, you can join the Patreon to catch that full show. Hundreds of hours of exclusive content, or I'm sorry, 100 hours of hundreds of hours is a lot more than 100 hours.
Yeah, but listen, why don't you say this? More than 100 hours of exclusive content.
More than 99 hours of exclusive content. And of course, we have old episodes from the show, guests that have too much of a career to come on the main feed, so much more. I mean, you gotta love it. Plus, you get access to my business line, which people seem to be using to send me what would be regrettable social media posts. Like they're just getting them out of their system by texting me. I've seen strange things. I've seen scary things, some erotic things.
People are just leaving messages like, "What about Donald Gay Trump?"
You know what, man? I will happily be
the
that.
real Donald Gay Trump.
I will happily sacrifice myself like some kind of Jesus, you know what I mean? For all of your racist and homophobic thoughts. Where you're like, I know I shouldn't put this on social media,
So
but I gotta put it somewhere. Feel free to do it, you know? All right, patreon.com/WHotW. Anything you got to plug to these people, Brian?
No.
Okay, let's start the show. We are in, let's see. I wanted to point this out really quickly. Over the weekend, looks like there was 200 fatal shootings I believe related to the 4th of July. Hit play on this real quick. Let's see what Judy Yang over in Chicago has to say about this.
This is specifically just about
official
Chicago's
numbers yet,
violence.
but according to our count, at least 72 people have been shot in the city since Friday evening. 5 of them were children. Those 5 children shot since Sunday afternoon.
By other children, though, probably.
A 6-year-old girl shot in West Poland is among the weekend.
We can't pause because we're used to the ATEM.
Yeah.
They're trying to say over the weekend, and now mentally, when you think a weekend, you think 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
This is a long weekend. It was a 4-day weekend.
True.
So 72 people getting shot in a 4-day weekend is far less impressive than just a regular Friday, Saturday, or whatever.
That is very true. You know what? Beyond that, I will say this. Hold on, hit play. Let me take a look. Let them finish the story.
119th in South Michigan. Someone fired from a gray SUV, hitting the child in the hand and her mother in the back.
Likely, the 6-year-old wasn't the target, as we've seen too many times.
Likely?
Yeah.
What are the chances the 6-year-old was the target? Like, get that bitch. She's on our corner.
Yeah, or I don't want to pay for her.
A 5-year-old girl was shot in the same neighborhood. She was in an alley at 117th
hello.
and South
I like when the
Normal,
cop lets
where
her hair
someone
down.
started
Sorry.
shooting.
That was
The girl
a
was
particularly hot cop.
Police say her condition is stable at Roseland Community Hospital. And children were injured in a drive-by this morning in Washington Park. 6 people were shot. A
Jesus
12-year-old
Christ.
girl remains in critical condition at Comer Children's Hospital.
But the deep dish, dude.
I will say this. This is what happens when, I mean, people are saying that there's something particularly happening right now, like, you know, almost like there's something in the air, right? Reopening, that these are shootings are related to that. I do think this is sort of what happens on the weekend of the 4th of July. It's a good time to shoot somebody if you're going to shoot them.
Yeah.
People will think it's fireworks. Honestly, for the same reason, I've been ripping ass around here all weekend. There's no proof that was not a firework.
Dude, it turns out I have a terrible sense of smell because I thought my farts didn't stink. And then my girlfriend moved into my house and I would do a silent fart. And a second later, she'd be like, "What the fuck is that?" And I'm like, I literally can't smell anything. I don't smell anything. So it's making me wonder, like back in time, all these farts I've been ripping that I thought didn't smell, but it turns out I just have a shitty sense of smell.
Yeah, I can't believe you were literally thinking your farts didn't smell. How is that possible?
Well, because I wasn't smelling them. No, of course, Tyler, if I had taken a raw shit right on the fucking floor, I know everybody would smell that, including myself. But what I'm saying is, if I don't smell it, how am I supposed to know it stinks?
Well, but I think you're ignoring something, because if you have stinky shits, your farts have to stink as well. Of your shit.
Sometimes, let me tell you something. Sometimes I can smell them. Man.
Your farts are just ghosts of your shit, dude. It's your shit's breath.
Anyway, I'm just wondering how many. I'm just wondering how many times I've humiliated myself. Like, are there people who are like, you know, behind my back, they're like, Jesus Christ, dude, he's got IBS or something. Like, what the hell's going on with that dude's ass?
Oh, Brian, we're saying so much worse. It's so much worse than that.
Because when I taught preschool, I would just rip and blame it on the kids.
Oh, that was so good, dude.
But also I was younger then, because now I'm doing mad farts.
Dude, same. When I was younger, I used to work with a guy in a wheelchair. Same thing.
Just blame it on him. His asshole's paralyzed. He can't hold it in.
He doesn't know.
Nobody's gonna say anything. If you're in a room near a guy in a wheelchair,
it's the perfect cover.
It just is what it is,
a
man.
Beard for your asshole.
All right. Anyways, Afghanistan.
Oh, I do have something to plug. It's for us.
Oh, hit it.
I designed coffee mugs for us, and the link will be in the show notes. If you guys want it says Worst Hour Pod, and it says Let's Start the Show, and it is live on bonfire.com, and I will put the link in there. And you guys can pick up a coffee mug for $14.99.
We should pick some up so we can put them in the background here so that people can see them. They're probably beautiful.
Yeah, they're coming. They're live. They're only available for 15 days.
For 15 days,
Just,
and then
just testing the water. It's
I'm
a
serious.
campaign.
Once the 15 days are up, any of our inventory, we're going to break and flush it down the toilet.
So yeah, the link is in the show notes. It'll be in the description of the YouTube show, however you listen to it. But it's a Worst Hour mug, and it's available for the next 15 days.
And you can put, once again, I've said this before, but you can put anything in a coffee mug. That's kind of the thing about it. It says coffee mug, but feel free to put whatever you want in there.
You could put a raw shit right in there.
Completely. You could put one of Brian's scent-free shits.
I never said that I didn't think my shit stinks. Stunk.
Worst, that's the worst. Worst candle scent I could ever think of. Brian's unscented shit. All right. What's going on in Afghanistan, Tyler?
Turmoil.
Now, the United States reportedly left Afghanistan's Bagram airfield without any prior notice to the.
This is from our sister station, Y on News, by the way.
The new Afghan commander found out about the exit just 2 hours after the U.S. troops had.
This is actually a white reporter who woke up with foreign accent syndrome.
Also, interestingly, shut off the electricity before leaving the Bagram air base. While the United States left behind some arms, it took most of the heavy weapons with it.
Wait, go back.
Yes,
go back.
Yes, I saw it.
Go back. In this video, there's a crawl going. Hit play. The U.S. troops left behind bottles of water and energy drinks.
While the United States left behind some arms, it took.
If there's a country that I feel like doesn't need caffeine.
You left behind some guns and a few cans of Rip It?
Have fun with this, Taliban.
The base, which is just an hour's drive from.
All right. You could just stop it.
Yeah, just stop it there. That's enough. The funniest thing is that they said that the locals raided or looted. They used the word looted.
Yeah, because as soon as it's funny how as soon as they leave, they're fucking savages now.
Right. Yeah, it's interesting also that a country came in and invaded them and toppled their government, and occupied them for 20 years, but apparently the people taking water are looters.
a country that likely came in and plundered the poppy seed fields.
100%.
Literally killed all the local economies.
Is it a coincidence that we go in Afghanistan in 2001 and then by 2008 we're in the grips of the worst opioid crisis in American history?
I actually never thought about that before, Brian. That is really, really, really... That's a profound point, dude. You are completely right. The opiate crisis started literally 7 years after we left Afghanistan. Or I'm sorry, after we entered. Afghanistan.
Yeah.
We won't fully get out of Afghanistan probably ever.
The Germans just got out of there. But another funny article in here about Afghanistan is that 1,000 Afghani forces, as soon as the Americans left, they got in a skirmish with the Taliban. And 1,000 of them fled to Tajikistan.
Tajikistan, and then another country called Margrebistan, or a country I've never heard of before.
Ooh, I love hearing about a new country.
Hit play on this one. This is from our sister station over at Al Jazeera.
Things are quiet at Bagram Air Base, once the nerve center of America's longest-running war. 100,000 U.S. troops were here during the course of the past 20 years, the final ones leaving quietly on Friday. The Afghans are in charge now, but the question is, which Afghans and for how long? Shopkeepers nearby are worried about more than their source of income.
Security issues affect our sales. It's not a problem.
Could you imagine being in Afghanistan and being like, business is actually bad?
Yeah.
Worse than you thought it was.
The fanny pack stores might fold.
The U.S., by the way, I love that they didn't even... I like that... I can relate to the U.S., by the way, for just bailing on that station, because I have also left a job without a 2 weeks notice. It does feel good.
Right. Well, then that way you don't have to deal with all the weird looks and and how hard are you going to be defending Afghanistan those 2 weeks when you give the notice?
And I do want to say this. Part of this is on Afghanistan. How does the whole country not leave and then how's the whole country leave and you not notice? How do you not notice the United States, I don't know, tiptoeing outside of your country? They're leaving with tanks and fucking aircraft carriers.
Yeah, so everybody fled this Taliban skirmish from the Afghani government, and they went to Tajikistan. Now, Tajikistan You know what's crazy about that place is they, in order to combat radical Islam and the Taliban, because they have a dictator, they've outlawed shit like beards. Like if you have a beard, you can get stopped by the secret police and they will shave you right there on the sidewalk.
Is Tajikistan not a Muslim country? I would think they were. With the did you know that every country that ends in stan is a Muslim country?
It's kind of Muslim, but they have a dictator who's more about him.
Than he is about
Islam. But you could think about that. If you were late to work and you forgot to shave, you could just put that in there.
Yeah, that's
you could just add the cop stopping you and shaving you in the street into your schedule. You forgot to shave. The cops will do it.
Look at this fucking guy.
Quite remarkable, the collapse that we have seen during June and now into July. Beyond the sort of the.
Is there anything worse than a white guy who's super into the Middle East?
He's in Utrecht, Netherlands, which I played a show in Utrecht. Has the best graffiti I've ever seen in my life.
So, in addition to the United States just abruptly pulling out of Afghanistan, I guess to summarize everything, now the Taliban is regaining ground. Apparently, that town, by the way, which they left, where
Bagram was,
where Bagram is, there were 5,000 Taliban soldiers they just abandoned. So obviously now they're gaining a stronghold because all of this shit is happening for them.
Yeah, but it's just an interesting thing because it's like, do you stay there forever?
In Afghanistan?
And why were they not able to beat the Taliban? I mean, every day we're hearing about a different country pulling out of Afghanistan. So it's like, okay, Australia was there, Germany was there, the United States was there, France was there, England was there. How are you not able to stomp out the Taliban?
Because the Taliban is like, I mean, and I'm not saying the people, but I'm saying like its ideas are like a goddamn bacteria. You can't get rid of all the bacteria. It's, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's just a thing that exists in a bad environment, the Taliban. And as long as they continue to perpetuate the bad environment, it's just going to...
It recruits itself.
It recruits itself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, look, we're literally looking at a thumbnail of a guy in what appears to be pajamas.
Yeah, just unloading a machine gun.
Okay. Let's
enough as a child.
I'm gonna put a pin in
Afghanistan.
Yeah, in Afghanistan. I'm gonna put a pin also in the Ukrainian army's decision to make its women wear high heels. We'll talk about that on the Patreon.
Since they cowardly went back on it after a little bit of backlash.
It's really an embarrassing day for the country of Ukraine, to be completely honest with you. But we'll put a pin in that one because I do want to get to your cluster of children's stories. Before we do that, really quickly, can I have two hilarious animal stories.
Please.
One of which is that a man was arrested for trying to sell duct-taped iguanas from his SUV. Now,
what does that mean specifically?
Play the video, Tyler. There is video that supports this, and it is pretty much exactly what you're picturing.
Damn, Jorge Estevez has a head of hair on him.
Yeah,
God, I love how we're getting familiar with every. Wait,
I know
Gwinnett
everybody
County,
in
Georgia. That's where I went to high school.
That's why I chose the story.
This is where I went to high school.
Hit play.
I went to school in Duluth and Lawrenceville. Oh, good.
Oh, yeah, you got to hit the volume on this one.
Animal cruelty. And as Channel 2's Gwinnett County Bureau Chief Tony Thomas reports.
Tony Thomas? What a good name.
I'm very interested in what town this was in. We have listeners in this county. We have a decent amount of listeners.
The man is also registered as a pet shop owner.
Thought he was going to say pedophile.
Are we? What is this, an internet issue?
If their video player is shitty.
That video player is their own fucking horse shit.
Yeah.
All right, give it a second.
Jimmy Carter Boulevard?
That's it. That goes through my hometown. Jimmy Carter Boulevard. That liberal piece of shit.
It's probably not a good boulevard. It doesn't work that well.
Yeah. Well, it's too expensive. I'll tell you that.
Hit play on the video one more time because it's got to work. It has to work.
The call was unusual in itself. A man selling iguanas out of the back of his SUV in this parking lot. When officers arrived, they say the man didn't think he was doing anything wrong, despite the condition of the animals.
Oh, whoa, whoa! Oh, my God! What's happening?
Oh, my God! What the heck?
What is going on?
Iguanas are an invasive species in Florida.
That's just a random iguana YouTube video that.
Yeah, this is a channel I actually subscribe to. Iguana Mans.
Do we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Look how
7,
small they
8,
grow
9
up. I didn't realize they were so
But Gwinnett
tiny.
County police say Daniel Del Toro Mendez crossed the line when he brought 22 iguanas he caught in Miami.
Dude, look at this picture.
They're duct taped like the cartel was moving them.
They literally are duct taped like he's trying to get info out of them.
Legs were tied with duct tape in a non-ventilated location, which would cause him to die.
Police charged Mendez with 22 misdemeanor counts.
Look
of
at that guy.
animal
You
cruelty after spotting
explain
him
to that guy
selling
why
the
he should give a
animals
fuck
out of the
about
back.
iguanas.
Can
Look
I
at
say
his
this?
face.
Can I say this, folks? How good was the iguana's life anyway? Really? If we can really get there?
Not as good as, I mean, better than being duct taped and put in a fucking Rubbermaid.
Look,
I mean, listen, what happened to the iguanas is terrible, but that guy looks like he comes from a place where, like, he'll kill a person. So how you can expect him to care about an iguana?
if my diet ever gets to a place where all I'm doing is eating flies and my eyes are starting to look the other direction, go ahead and fucking duct tape me and put me in a trunk in Georgia.
Can they camouflage?
The iguanas, no. They're one of the dumbest animals on the planet.
So you really took a different turn with this story. I didn't expect you to turn on the iguana in this story.
It's just, you know what I hate about this story? I'll tell you what I hate about this story. It's that every single aspect of the way people keep iguanas as a pet is barbaric and evil. Yet, for some reason, we're like, everybody knows you shouldn't duct tape an iguana. You should put them in a small, clear box and on a fake hot rock. That's the way they're supposed to be. It's like, it's all horse shit. What are you even fucking talking about? Why is this guy getting charged for animal cruelty and not the fat cats at Petco? Huh? That's my problem with this story. Ramsey Badawi, man of the people.
Hashtag bully the right people.
I'm not really sure. That's my one flaw. Well, among several flaws. I have several flaws exactly. Is that in my attempt to hold the right people accountable, I always let everybody else go. I go, you sir, you're free to go.
So we got some meth head trout.
Yeah. So I guess there's an issue going on. Tyler, can you tell me what town this is in? Because there wasn't a video on this article, but I thought it was interesting.
It's also my hometown again.
It's got to be somewhere good. There's methamphetamine in the water supply, presumably from.
It says Prague.
Oh, in Prague.
Prague?
That's from the Czech University of Life Sciences.
Okay, now we're clicking back in. Czech. Now, once you got the Czechs involved, I'm going, okay. All right.
I would have never guessed that Prague, such a beautiful, unbombed too, survived World War II.
Oh, really?
Beautiful city.
Yeah, Prague is one of the places that I picture as, like, I always associate nice things with Prague.
James Bond goes there all the time.
Yeah, it's like, is it a vacation spot in Europe?
It's like a historical spot. Yeah, I imagine. Yeah, it is 100%. I've been there a couple times. It's beautiful.
For reasons that I'm trying to, I'm hoping Tyler may have skimmed in on. There's methamphetamine getting into the water supply here,
and the trouts are hooked on it.
The trouts are getting addicted.
Well, as you would. I mean, if you have to like breathe in the water.
I kind of see this as becoming a much bigger problem than.
How do you score though? You know what I mean? Like, do they just swim around just drinking, like just with their mouth open?
Yeah, I guess
that's got to be a tough thing to not have thumbs and be addicted to meth.
This is gonna be a huge.
You have to be water bound.
I'm telling you, dude, this is gonna be a huge problem in the ecosystem.
Are we gonna have to ease them off it?
Get them on methadone or whatever.
They'll have scabs all over their body.
Is that trout drinking a monster? Why? Why is that trout drinking a monster?
They're just constantly having gay sex.
What happens when the bears get to these trouts? We're going to have methed out bears walking around Prague? Then what? This is a disaster waiting to happen, folks.
Yeah, it's just skinny bears.
Just
super skinny in jean shorts.
Bears are going to be breaking into your car, but not for like food. They're going to be trying to get change so they can buy more meth.
They're going to learn how to make meth. There's going to be caves full of methamphetamine labs.
I don't know what can happen, but nothing good could come from bears eating trouts that are hooked on meth. Nothing good can come from that. If COVID...
I'm so happy this is in Europe, too, because I was in my mind, I was like, Georgia, Florida, here we go again.
Yeah, of course.
Fuck you, Czech Republic.
Yeah, fuck it. As soon as I found out the
snooty-ass motherfuckers with your methy rivers.
Well, it turns out it's not like a methy river. This is just a news article for an experiment they did.
Oh, they just dropped the meth in the river.
They did it themselves.
Oh, okay.
To see what would happen.
Now that I know that they did this, I hope the bears get a hold of it.
Yeah,
because
for
I
real.
want the bears to get methed out and fucking come in there and kill everybody
what
for
they
an
get.
irrational reason.
For playing God.
Oh, after all the shit everybody talked on China for COVID-19, this is, albeit a little cooler.
It's not nearly as bad as COVID-19.
I'm saying, have we learned nothing from COVID-19?
I know,
Have we
right?
learned absolutely nothing?
Why did they do this, Tyler?
They must be, because here's the thing. I'll tell you why they did this. The governments have too much money. They're printing all this money and they're doing whatever the fuck they want to do with it, such as studying meth and trout. What can we learn from this?
Well, so it's saying that in the UK also got shrimp hooked on meth too.
Yeah, those ones actually happened. These aren't experiments. This is
So there were shrimp that had meth in them.
Yeah, they found traces of drugs in the shrimp. And then also in the Puget Sound, they had oxycodone.
I'll say this: let the shrimp do meth. Let them do drugs. How boring must life be as a shrimp? It's not like that. There's no reason for that shrimp to want to be sober in any capacity.
It's funny how appropriate the drugs are for the creature. Like a mussel was hooked on oxycodone.
Yeah.
Like an absolute opiate, like just sleeping, just in that shell all day. And then you got a little wiry ass shrimp that's just running around on meth. Like, it's very appropriate, the drug to the creature.
I want to say this: there's probably no animal better suited to do drugs than a fish. The most awful existence. By the way, a healthy fish has an attention span of like 2 seconds.
Also, you have to pace just to stay alive.
Yeah, exactly.
You just have to keep moving. So,
yeah.
I mean, that's got to be tough. If you're under pressure to constantly keep moving.
Humans have zero reasons to do drugs. We're such dumb pieces of shit. We make movies. And we're like, I still am not entertained by this. I need to get high on something.
But have you seen a movie high?
Yeah, it's never as good as you think it's going to be. You're always better off watching the movie sober.
Is there a movie that's ever been improved by drugs for you, Tyler?
Been improved?
Yeah.
Tons of movies.
Tyler's literally like...
Tyler's like, I haven't seen one sober
I've
yet.
never seen a sober movie before.
I have no idea.
I find that if I'm high and I'm seeing a movie, it becomes a lot more about what I'm eating than what I'm watching.
Well, when people are like, you got to see that movie Stones, I'm like, oh, so it's a bad movie.
Yeah.
Like, you need to be at 50% capacity to enjoy this movie.
You don't want to have your wits about you for this one.
If you are thinking at like, an 8th grade level, you will love this fucking movie.
I was watching Malibu's Most Wanted.
Yeah.
Just like totally ripped.
Yeah, you're wearing a gas mask bong in the movie theater.
How recently did you watch Malibu's Most Wanted, Tyler?
It's streaming right now.
Tyler, you know what? I saw a movie the other day that is sort of like Tyler Gazar meets The Worst Hour Pod. You ever watch War Dogs from 2016?
No, but I know who's in it.
It's a great movie. I thought
I thought you were gonna say The Interview, because that kind of seems like Tyler meets Worst Hour Pod.
I'll tell you what, Tyler, we should watch either The Interview or War Dogs as a Patreon exclusive with Tyler, and then we'll also interview you about your family, because we promised that to our Patreons as well.
Oh yeah.
The biopic.
My
the
friend who
biopod.
subscribes to the Patreon was like, "What happened to the interview with Tyler?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" and they were like, "You promised an interview with Tyler," and I was like, "When?"
Yeah, we did.
On
we
the main
did.
feed. I was like, "Well, don't." But also, listen, if you're listening at home,
People, I'm telling you, Tyler is taking the nation by storm. People are really clamoring to know more about Tyler.
We need to let the momentum die down so he doesn't take over.
Episode 300 on the Patreon is going to be the interview with Tyler.
Okay, let's get into these child geniuses.
Yeah,
so a child in Belgium.
Can I ask you one last question?
Yes.
Can I ask a question? What got you? Because you've sent me these several stories that have to do with children. Were you looking for?
Sometimes it finds you.
It just found you. All of them.
Yeah, these are just all current events right now.
As a guy who worked with children previously, I'm especially interested in your take on these.
So this one child. Let me tell you something. If you want to see the future of evil, listen to this story right here. I think you got it.
When he was younger, even younger than now, Laurent Simon was raised mostly by his grandparents. They kept telling Laurent's mother and father he seemed very smart. His parents say they never took it seriously. They figured every grandparent thinks their grandchild's smart. Well, in Laurent's case, the grandparents were right. The 9-year-old has an IQ of 145. That puts him just under Einstein or something.
I want to see what the over-under is on how many times they got the genius thing right. You know those grandparents were calling all their grandkids geniuses, and on the 10th one, they were right.
Right. Well,
has ever seen anything like Laurent.
Is he soldering something?
Yeah, no.
What is he doing?
Laurent has never been a fan of toys.
He's just a little evil genius.
Prolific poster on Instagram.
Pause it. He's a legit.
Through high school.
Look at this picture of him.
Yeah.
Look at this.
He's definitely. I'm telling you right now, he's fucked more women than I have. I don't like it.
In one night.
I don't like it that he's fucked more women than I have, but he absolutely has.
So he just became the youngest person in, I believe, the world to get a undergraduate degree, and he got it in, I believe, astrophysics or something, or some kind of, and he's working on his PhD. But his goal, they were like, "What do you want to do? Why are you working so hard?" And he said, "Immortality."
Okay, that is the scariest thing.
Yeah, he wants to live forever. So he wants to figure out how to make artificial organs.
Mhm.
And he claims it's because his grandparents have cardiac issues.
And he's trying to...
They would need transplants.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that's what... I'm sure right now... But can you see how that altruistic path, just as soon as a girl rejects him or something bad happens to him, is because something bad is bound to happen to him, and he's gonna turn dark.
You know, many villains have that origin story that was. It's like they had good in their heart.
He's Anakin.
Yeah, they had good in their heart. They wanted to do well by society, but you know, I don't think he's gonna get to immortality.
Okay,
I think he's gonna end up fucking way too much in his life, and he's gonna burn out by the time he's 16.
Well, the youngest American to ever graduate college,
26.
Go back to the Google Doc, Ty.
Eric is 26.
There's
He's
video of
graduating
him.
from Florida State University.
I was about to tell you what he does, but go ahead to the least impressive child prodigy. Oh, this is a different one. Pause. Go back. Go ahead and click on the one we were watching before. I believe it's at the end of this video. I was going to tell you what it is, but I really don't want it to ruin. Just go ahead and press play on this. I can't see what you're doing, but just press play. I don't know if you want
Laurent says right now he's working on a computer circuit that replicates a part of the human brain. He hopes to study medicine next. He's just not sure where. He's being courted by universities around the world. But his long-term goal is to become an inventor. He says his dream is to make artificial organs. And there's a reason. His grandparents have cardiac issues, and he wants to help them. Mike Armstrong, Global News.
Okay, so it doesn't show it. Pause. I'll just tell you then. I'll just let it go because it showed video of it and I can't find the video. The youngest American to ever graduate college was 11 years old, 1 year or 12 years old. And he's 2 years older than this kid. And you know what he does now? He's an improviser. He does improv comedy. They cut to a video of him doing really bad improv. That was our child genius. Is a fucking improv comedian now. And now you can go to the least impressive. Now this is gonna hit close to home for you.
I do gotta say this. I like how far away me and that kid's goals are. He wants to create artificial organs for his grandparents. I'd love to open up a hookah barbershop.
Yeah, dude, that kid is gonna, let me tell you something.
He's closer than me. That's his goal.
It's too much potential. Now, this guy went to the same school as you, and that's why I call him the least impressive boy genius ever.
All right, let me see.
Year looked a lot different for students across the country, but for one 13-year-old from Orange County, he is truly exceptional. This is Jack Rico, became the youngest student to ever graduate from Fullerton College.
Are you fucking kidding me? I graduated from this same school that this 13-year-old graduated from. He's the only one who was there who didn't have a job.
Jack, we are all proud of you. Now, Jack didn't just graduate. Get this. He earned 4 associate's degrees in 2
Yeah,
years.
Fullerton College is a
Tells us
community
he loves
college, I was going to say, which I did attend Fullerton
movies
College
and,
as
of course,
well.
Video games, too, in his free time. He'll be continuing his education at the University of Nevada.
He's going to Nevada.
Yeah, this dude could not hang at Cal State Fullerton. Let me tell you right now, dude.
That's the most least impressive resume from a child genius you've ever heard. It's like, yeah, dude, he graduated community college at age 13, and then he went to the University of Nevada.
Yeah, so Nevada's not going to give him a full scholarship. They said they're going to give him in-state tuition, though, even though he's from Fullerton.
The only thing I know about the University of Nevada is that Colin Kaepernick went there. That's the only thing I know about it.
If that kid goes to the University of Nevada and doesn't come out card counting or doing something, he's going to come out. The casinos are going to pay for this kid.
It's like, listen, I think every 13-year-old could graduate from community college. Like, that's just a matter of getting them in there.
The hardest part about community college is that you're like, damn, I have a job and I got to go to school. It's not that it's like a hard school.
It's the parking passes and shit like that.
I think I took pre-algebra in community college. I didn't even.
Have you ever been less impressed with a boy genius?
That kid is I actually feel like that kid is wasting his potential. Now, whenever people say, I feel like I empathize with anybody who's ever said I was wasting my potential by seeing this child.
Okay, go back into there, Tyler. I got a couple more kid stories we're gonna get through here. This kind of goes back to what we opened the podcast on. We're getting back to cattle. This is an Irish child who won $1,000 in a raffle, and he bought cattle with it.
Okay.
And when you hear him speak, he is so grounded and he has so much wisdom, and it makes me like uncomfortable.
I just pulled a giant chunk out of my can.
I wanted to throw up. I saw that. All right, now listen to this young genius.
All right.
He's like a young Vince Lombardi or something.
Like I'm going to blow up. Like, it's just such a weird feeling because they're mine. Like,
he's like thinking about what he's saying, so he wants to get it right.
I hate when I see kids who are more thoughtful than me.
Yeah.
It's because he doesn't have a podcast. He doesn't have a couple hours to kill every week.
In the Couche Cavan.
How many cows did he buy?
6.
Look how beautiful these things are. You're telling me a horse is more beautiful than this?
So why not buy?
Look at these gorgeous eyelashes.
And well enough, it turned out really well. These like lovely calves. Like, I love tracking them. Like,
did he say I love jacking them?
Sure
That's fucking weird, dude.
Healthy, eating grass, all that stuff. Because if they're not eating, like, they'll get sick. I can pet these cows every day, and these won't be going for another 2 years. So,
are you sure this guy's a genius?
Wait, listen.
See what these cows will bring. Like, it's all great fun. Like, thought it would be less work. I thought you'd just put them in the field, feed the meal, and that's it. But like, I'm actually quite pleased now. They have to do work because it's a new experience for me, because I've never bought my own cattle before, and like, it's really fun, like, to have this experience, because like, you're so young and you're like thinking, what am I doing? Like, all right.
Listen.
You need to actually work for something, because you can't just be sitting around on a sofa doing nothing.
Oh, fuck you, dude.
You need to have something that you're passionate about, I think.
Oh, go fuck yourself. You don't know anything about me, William.
That kid is wise, wouldn't you say?
I can't. He personally attacked me right now.
You can't be sitting on a couch going, oh, my life's a mess.
Oh, it's easy for you to say, motherfucker. You won €1,000. You know what I got to do for a fucking work?
Pounds, but yeah. Pounds? Oh, no, euros. You're right, Irish.
Fucking fleeting currency.
Yeah, no, he went, yeah.
Smart man. Put his money into an investment.
He went liquid.
I would have. Well, he didn't go liquid. He bought assets with it. He bought himself a farm.
Oh, right.
Some cows.
Yeah, the fact that he's just like, you're so young and you're just thinking, what am I doing? My life's a mess. The man, not only does he have the weight of existing, but he did something about it.
If I ever see William in person, I'm going to beat the shit out of him. Seriously.
On blood.
It's on site, William.
On a real one.
I will grab William in his stupid. Did you see how fucking well dressed he was? I'll rip his stupid shirt off. punch him right in his fucking stomach. Don't you ever tell me what to do on my couch. If I want to get up or if I want to stay on it, that's my business, you dumb little fucking Scottish kid.
The way he wore his hat, he looked 45 years old. Excuse me, 45.
Dude, I can't. Remind me to never have any sour sup before the show. I'm too fired up today.
Okay, now the next one I want to cover, Tyler, this that toy advertised as a kid-friendly toy. So what this is a and then also can you go ahead and open up, because we're gonna play a video out of this page, and then open up the lyrics in English that I also linked in the doc there. So this is a cactus that's sold in Taiwan. It's a toy cactus, and it dances and it plays a song.
Okay.
And the song it plays is a Polish rap.
So we're off Kid Geniuses.
Now we're to kid toys.
Okay.
Now we're on kid toys.
Right, I want you to put more segments together.
So this Three Geniuses. I mean, come on. We had the least impressive genius, the most impressive genius, and then we had a hardworking genius. We had a blue-collar genius.
We went hard pivot into consumer products.
But it's a child's toy.
Okay.
And so it's a cactus that dances. Wait, Tyler, don't go full screen, though, because we're going to want the English translation up there.
Oh, because of that. Okay.
Yeah, so this is a little dancing cactus that they sell to children in Taiwan, and it plays a Polish rap. And the Polish rap is actually, when you look at it in English, it's all about suicide and doing heroin and snorting coke.
Oh, fuck. Are Polish people cool?
Yeah, the lyrics of the song are sick. Yeah, so go ahead. Actually, Tyler, go back to the English translation. That page you're moving, just full screen that. And just play the video right there. And then we'll show you the cactus after.
So this is the song that the cactus danced
No,
to?
Tyler, go back to that page. No, back. Yeah, the video there. Yeah. So now, and I'll read the lyrics. The only thing in my head is 5 grams of cocaine. Fly away alone to the edge of oblivion. I have thoughts in my head. When will all this end? Whenever I'm alone, because of a white eel will fly in. So this is about a man sitting in a room, detoxing, trying to quit cocaine and trying not to kill himself.
I have a damn descent. I don't catch stars. I like a log. I don't believe what's going on.
I lie like a log.
Oh, I lie like a log. My head's empty like a street in front of your dorm.
I melt like a bar, which is lying on the counter. Going down is when you don't pull. Brother, my face is getting fucked up. My head's a brothel, just like on TV. I'm not surprised by a slate, lack of goods. In my mind, I get high. Whenever I make it or not, I will sell everything from my crib. I'm actually fucked up already. This is a child's toy.
Let me see the toy. I want to see the toy now.
The song has a good hook, though.
It's a decent song. Yeah.
Okay. Now,
I'll make love to my girlfriend to that song. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
After a hard night of doing fentanyl.
So it just shows a child playing with the dancing cactus, talking about how he has 5 grams of cocaine in his head.
I think this cactus is supposed to be for chicks to jerk off with. That thing looks exactly like a dildo, and it's playing a song about cocaine.
It's dancing very uncomfortably.
I'm telling you right now, you would come if you put that cactus anywhere inside of you. Even as a man. You could put that cactus right in your pee hole as a guy.
Yeah, that song is excellent, dude.
All right.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I want it too. It moves insane, and I kind of like the song. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna listen to more of him.
Are you telling me that if a chick put that inside of her, she would not be into it? She would be totally into it.
Listen, just because I didn't say anything doesn't mean I disagree with you. I absolutely think that a throbbing, phallus-shaped...
Look, it literally looks like it's built for a chick's clit.
Yeah. You can... So what it is it's the two... So it's like a saguaro cactus, so it has the 2 arms coming out. Yeah. So one can go up your asshole, the other one can rest on your clit, and then the big cactus goes in your pussy.
Please put it on the screen. It's a perfect sex toy. It really is.
Yeah, think about how hard you'd be coming, dude. This is clit, anal, and vaginal stimulation.
And the song, too. Angela,
and the song has bass, too, so there's a...
The song's a really good song. Oh, yeah, dude. It's got a good rhythm to it. And it's not actually prickly.
No.
It's not like a real cactus. It's a toy for kids.
It's made of rubber. It comes with lube.
It comes with cactus oil.
Yeah, so that wraps up our children's segment.
Dude, Bryan Vokey.
None of the children we covered would play with toys, though.
Bryan Vokey's news segment unveiled on the Worst Hour podcast.
News.
His weekly roundup of kids news. You know what this is for? It's for our I was going to say our patrons. It's for our listeners who have children.
Yeah, I mean, I like to include everybody, because a lot of people are like, I like Worst Hour, but they don't really speak to me as a parent or as a teacher.
If you're in the car with your kids, maybe, and you want to have something that both of you can listen to.
Yeah.
Listen to.
Da-ba-dooby-da, booty-boppy-da.
Your kids got to learn about dildos at some point. And let me 100%. Do it. Why would you do it as the parent? Let me, as a stranger who has nothing to do with your family, tell your kids about dildos.
I can't believe they sent a 13-year-old to community college and acted like that was newsworthy.
Did you see how depressed that kid was, by the way? Because he saw what community college was?
And his name is Jack Rico.
That was a pretty sad story overall. That was the saddest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Sometimes we end the show on a big note. With this one, we ended it on a sad note. Little Jack Rico, community college. It's like, enjoy your life, kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hope University of Nevada treats you well. Although, like I said, never really heard about much science coming out of the University of Nevada.
I firmly believe every child should ride a few more roller coasters before they find out what community college is.
Oh, my life's a mess.
That kid at Fullerton College had to see so many horrible things before he had to go to his mom and be like, Mom, what is Fortnite exactly? These guys are obsessed with it.
He has to help his classmates jumpstart their car before they fucking go to their work.
He's like talking to his mom. You know what I want for Christmas this year? A jewel. I see all the kids at school with them. So sad. So sad.
Thanks so much, folks.
Yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. As always, check out the show on all social media platforms. Worst Hour Pod. That's YouTube. That's Instagram. That's TikTok. That's Facebook. I'm managing the Facebook page. We have a Facebook page now.
I didn't know that.
Like it if you can. I'll be managing it, so Brian will have nothing to do with it. Brian thinks he's too good for Facebook. Follow, what else? Write the show, Worst Hour of the Week at gmail.com. Join our Patreon, patreon.com/WHOTW. Brian, what else do you have to plug to these people?
July 31st, if you live in Ventura, California, I'll be doing a show there with Ian Edwards. Lots of other shows happening around Los Angeles. Follow my Instagram at Mr. Bryan Vokey for all those dates.
Oh, if you're in Orange County, check out, I'm at the Rec Room at Huntington Beach this Friday, July 10th. That'll be a fun show. Tyler, check out Best Movie Ever. Is it still called Best Movie Ever?
Virgin Movie Slayers?
Yeah, it's getting rebranded right now. We're working on a new name.
Okay.
Hey, did you ever watch Daria?
I never saw Daria, no.
Did you ever watch Daria?
A little bit.
So there was a guy that they all had a crush on. He was an older kid in high school, and they were like, "What's your band called?" And he's like, "We're changing our name." And that was like a bit through the whole show, and that's what's going on with your podcast.
Well, follow Tyler on all social media platforms to find out when he announces the new name, at Tyler Gazar. That's guitar with a Z. Other than that, I got nothing else to say. You got nothing else to say, Brian. Please, thank you guys for listening. Peace be unto the prophet.
Long live the youth.